This guy's very dutifully filling out his thing. That's a lot of suit on a hot day, sir, but I like the commitment to that. Good. A lot of clashing going on. I'm excited to be here. I've been traveling around a lot. I actually started this year in San Francisco. You guys familiar with the San Francisco? Yeah, I was in San Francisco. I was catering to a venue that caters to alternative lifestyles. Do we know what I'm talking about here? We know what's going on? Yeah, I was on a show with 3 drag queens, 1 tranny, and 1 true transsexual. So 1 true Chaz Bono, Bruce Jenner, whichever way you want to go on this. I was technically the only real girl on that show. I was the ugliest bitch on that show. I don't know if you've encountered a drag queen before, but they're fabulous. It's impossible, ladies, to compete with drag queen glamour. It looks like you have tried. I'm telling you right now, because if they can hide a penis, it is amazing what they can do with crow's feet. I never felt so ugly in my whole life. I'll just tell you that right now. And I used to be nice. I used to be really, really nice. You look like you're nice right there. You got a little bitch in you, I can tell right there. That sparkles comes with bitch. That's all I can say right there. I used to be really, really nice. Woke up one morning just pissed off. Pissed off when I get drunk and then punch people. Anybody else? No, they're not. One person's angry in the room, rest are pretty happy. Good for you. I'm not even pissed off at normal stuff either. I'm pissed off at really, really stupid stuff. Like Prius drivers. Oh, I've tapped into a little hate. Good. Yay. If you're a Prius driver in this room, I know you're saving the universe. Thank you very much. But if you're outside this room, there's a good chance, just the tiniest little chance, that you might also be an asshole. I don't know if it's that all-vegan lifestyle that leaves them too weak and emaciated to actually put their foot on the gas pedal and do the speed limit in the fast lane. Or maybe it's that vegan lifestyle that leaves them too weak to reach up with their pinky finger and turn on their turn signal, let me know that they're quieter than shit cars coming over to my lane. Thank you for driving that car. Apparently we have a lot of Prius drivers. Sorry if I offended you. It's going to get worse. I'll tell you what else is pissing me off. Girl Scouts. Yeah, Girl Scouts. Hate those door-to-door sugar bitch whores. Hate them. You want some cookies? Of course I want cookies. Who doesn't want cookies? We all want cookies. You're going to buy 6 boxes of Thin Mints. You're going to eat 1 sleeve before you in the freezer because that's the way it works. Every February, right here, 6 pounds because of those little sugar bitches. I'm just telling you right now. Next time you see them in front of the grocery store, you just punch them in the face. They know what they did. They know why. Tell them Laura sent you. I actually think that should be a test for terrorists. What do you think? If you can turn down a chilled Thin Mint, you're not a God-fearing American. What do you think about that? Yeah. Would you turn down a chilled Thin Mint? No, you would not. You're both God-fearing Americans right there. Good for you. Another thing pissing me off with a lot of ladies, men, you may not understand this, but you need to know, ladies, automatic toilets. Did we need this level of technology? We did not. And I looked it up, ladies. A man developed this piece of nightmare for us. A man did it. Because no God-fearing woman ever forgot to flush. Not ever, 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 ever. Not even if we're drunk, we'll hover and flush. We'll stand on one leg, burn the crap out our thighs, but we will still flush. And you have no idea the nightmare that is our lives. Because we didn't wait in line, ladies, what, months? We've been in line so long, we started taking the antibiotics from our purse for the bladder disease we got while waiting in line. We finally get in there and we get that butt gasket all nice and down, usually number 3 because the first 2 tear and fall into the bowl. See, that's the sound of reality in our lives right there. That's like, they can identify with this pain. You're like, I have no clue. You need to know, sir. You need to know. And they finally get it all down there and we're about ready to sit down, and what happens? Beautiful sound effects. It's like you're professional. Thank you. It flushes and then it pulls that cigarette away from us. We're like, oh! And we have to start the process all over again. Bladder disease, naked down our ankles, butt gasket number 3. And I'll tell you right now, we need time in there. We need time. We're wearing high heels. We need to text message our friends. We have a number of things to do in there, don't we, ladies? Yes, we do. At least 1 or 2. Got the poop joke. Good for you. Like a smart crowd. Well done. And what happens when we're sitting there? It flushes. That's the correct answer. But don't be shy when you know. Good for you. It flushes. Now, here's the deal. Had I wanted to wash my crack with my own pee, I would have just peed on myself. Easier, quicker, faster, to the point. But the number one thing pissing me off in the whole world, and we have a lot of hot ladies in the audience, help me out with this. When did the complete annihilation of body hair on the female become the rage? When did this happen, and why? Why? And don't look at me like you don't know what I'm talking about, because I'm not talking about the hair up here. You're laughing like you had it done today. I'm talking about the hair down here. I'm like a total snatch whisper up here. I can tell instantly who's had it done and who isn't. I got you to laugh on that one. Good. It is not just the front porch, is it? No, it's the front porch through the house, into the backyard, the whole enchilada. Apparently, we have to wax all the way down to our toes because hook 'em up with Bigfoot toes is too much for you pussies. I am old enough to remember, men, when you're invited to the playground, you were happy. That's all that was required. You with a machete, you didn't know if you were going to live or die. It didn't matter. Now it has to be a toper and a slip and slide and everything. Why? Good laugher there. Thank you for that. I want you to know I've come up with my own name and design. I have trademarked this. You're welcome to adopt it, ladies. I personally like to take out the middle and leave the sides. Sexy, sexy, yeah. I call that the mutton chop. It'll keep your ears warm. I am thinking about growing one side longer, though, and then doing the comb over. What do you think about that? Yeah, call that the President Trump, everybody. Oh, are you guys ready for an awesome show? Are you ready for an awesome show? Yes, you are. My name is Laura Hayden. I will be your host and MC for the festivities tonight. Coming to the stage right now. Oh, my God, I have a speech impediment. He is all the way originally from Bethesda, Maryland. I hope I got that right. Please welcome the very talented Frank Prather, everybody.
Bethesda. Bethesda, tomato, tomato, Laura. Tomato, tomato. Welcome to Flappers for the Burbank Comedy Festival. You guys are awesome. So before I start, I just want to tell you something that happened to me on the way in here. I was walking in just right past the bar area from the outside, and somebody just grabs my arm. Hey, nice tattoos. Where do you get those done? And all I can think is, why are you touching me? We don't know each other. And then he proceeds to start saying, oh, you know, I have tattoos and blah, blah, blah. How many of you in here have tattoos? Anybody? Yeah. Yeah, we all have that in common. Doesn't make us friends. I mean, I don't understand where people get off. When I'm at the gym in the locker room, I don't go up to other dudes that are circumcised and go, hey, man, who does your work? I don't know why I'm tickling his balls. That's fuck. Oh, man. Look at you guys coming out on a Thursday to see live comedy. You know, being up on stage doing comedy is exactly like sex. And when it's going well, it feels really, really good. Every one of your laughs is like a tiny little orgasm. And I don't care if they're real. I just want you to do it so I feel good about my performance. But when it's bad, it's really bad. It's like you're about to make love to a beautiful woman and you can't get it up. No. It's worse than that. It's like you're about to make love to a beautiful woman. You can't get it up. And just as you begin to explain how this never happens to you, you have diarrhea all over her. You know, sir. You know. Oh, man. Clearly, I'm a good role model, which is good because I have a son. I have a boy. He is 2.5 years old, and he's just like me. Short, but not hard to look at. He is cute, so I got him an agent to get him some modeling gigs. I was telling a mom at the preschool about it, and she just started to give me this stinky sock-faced look. She goes, oh, you're one of those parents that exploits your children for money. How does that make you feel? Makes me feel like I just bought a Lexus. How does that make you feel? By the way, your Civic is blocking me in. Oh, man. Kids are great, but before you have one, everyone's like, oh, wait till you have a child. It'll be the best thing that ever happened to you in your entire life. And I'm like, clearly you have never had a threesome. Because I love my kid, but not like I love a threesome. And he's just turned 2.5, and he's deep deep, deep in the terrible twos. Like I love him, but he's a little bastard. Like everything is now mine, and he's hitting, and he's just lashing out and all that stuff. Just before I left the house tonight, I sat him down. I'm like, look, you little fucker, if you keep behaving like this, one day you're going to grow up to be president. So I had to put aside some of that money for his campaign that we made. He's a handful. And it's weird because kids get sick all the time because they're playing with other kids, and kids are just little germ-filled shit buckets. And so he's always got a cold or something wrong with him, and I got to take him to the doctor a lot. And health insurance is outrageous. Our deductible's like $1 billion. So I go into the doctor, and the doctor's like, well, I'm not sure what's wrong with him. I'm going to have to run some tests. I'm like, look, let's think of this young man like a used car. What do I have to do to keep him running for the next 6 months? Just enough. Just enough. So, and having kid can be a bonding experience with your spouse, but it can also put a lot of strain on your relationship. My wife and I have consistently go through problems and issues, and bless her heart, she's always trying to make the relationship better. So she recently bought me a book called The 5 Love Languages. Anybody familiar with that book? If you're not, it's an international bestseller because women buy this kind of shit all over the world. And the premise of the book is that each individual has 5 love languages. And for every person, they're weighted differently in a different order. But if you can learn to speak your partner's love language, you can really improve your relationship. So she gave it to me. She said, read the book, tell me your love languages, and I'll be a better wife. And I said, babe, I'm like every guy. I already know my 5 love languages. She said, what are they? I said, oral, anal, make me a sandwich, clean the house, and shut the fuck up. All right, guys, I'm Frank Prather. That's my time. Thank you.
Oh, my goodness. My goodness. Oh, his wife was not here. Can you tell? I've been married a long time. I'm actually in relationship purgatory. I don't know what I'm doing. I've been technically married like 24 years. I've been separated for 3 of them. People are like, you married? You single? I have a down payment on a divorce. I'm hoping to get a layaway this year. Anyone help? We could kickstart this maybe? I don't know how to date either. I don't know how to date. Last time I was single, I was in high school. So I don't know how to do these all day. They have Bumble, Tinder, I'm not your blowfish. I don't know how to do this. I'm actually thinking of going to my high school boyfriend and asking him for a Yelp review. I think that's she had nice penmanship. One more time for Frank, everybody. Give him some love right there. Come on stage. I know, I have a speech. I have a weird thing with, I screw up every name. So luckily this one, I think I got it right. I think I got this right. This guy is all the way from, let me see, Los Angeles, California. The City of Angels. Please welcome the very talented Kareem Matthews, everybody.
Hey, give it that one more time for Laura, man. Let her hear it. Good to be here, man. Just got back from Vegas. Yeah, we had a good time, but we flew to Vegas. And I'm not really comfortable flying because my name is Kareem. Whenever they hear my name is Kareem at the airport, they start acting like I want to do something to the plane. I'm always like, man, it's not even as serious. My mom was just a big-ass Laker fan. Ask my sister, Shaquille. And I just moved recently, man, getting adjusted to my new neighborhood. 'Cause, growing up, I lived in pretty much black and Latino neighborhoods. But now I live in a really mixed neighborhood, and I've been learning a lot from my white neighbors, like how they treat their pets. White people do different shit with their dogs, man. They be feeding them and shit. Taking them all out for walks. And then when white people take their dogs out for a walk, and the dog take a shit, they bend down and pick the shit up. and just walk around carrying a hot bag of shit. And they be so casual with it, just waving at you. Hi, neighbor. Neighbor, it is shit in that bag. I'm not walking around carrying a bag of my own shit, man. Let alone some dog shit. Like, who's in control here? You know what I hate? I hate going to the ghetto drive-thrus. You know the drive-thrus in the hood? Because it seems like they always put their person with the worst attitude at the window. I pulled up to the drive-thru of this Popeye's chicken one night. The dude at the window was like, hey, man, you want some hot sauce? I was like, yeah, let me get some hot sauce. He was like, we ain't got none. And I want to know why it take them so damn long to get your order ready at Popeyes. I'm like, all they serve is chicken and shit. They need to have that shit ready, man. Like, they always seem confused when you place your order. Or you want 3 pieces? Can you pull over and park? Popeyes is never in a neighborhood you really want to pull over and park in. They sitting back there talking to you on a microphone surrounded by a bulletproof glass, talking about pull over and park. I'm like, man, I'm gonna drive around again. Keep driving around. Before I go, I always say, I have one wish for white people. White people, I wish y'all would learn how to hike. Every time I turn on the news, they looking for some missing hikers. Whenever I hear that, I know it's white people, man. Hey, that's my time, man. My name is Kareem.
Hey, Matthews, everybody. Oh, and the way you guys laughed at that, clearly you've lost some hikers at some point in your life. You're like, yeah, we don't know where Jeff went. We don't care. We didn't like him anyhow. Oh, my goodness. One more time for Korean, everybody. Oh, my God. We're going to go international. This next lady coming to the stage, very funny, all the way from London. That would be England, not Texas. Please welcome the very talented Isabella Charlton, everybody.
Hi. I've been in America about a year, and I recently went to a 4th of July party. And this girl came up to me, and she said, "Are you upset? Are you upset because, like, America kicked England out too soon?" My brother does really good impressions of all the characters from Harry Potter. And I can do impressions of his impressions. Harry, no! Thank you. That was Hermione or Ron. Growing up, I thought people who had the star sign Cancer actually got cancer. And that scientists didn't take the link seriously because it was too obvious. I told my mother I was doing comedy, and she said, "So you're trying to be like that Amy Schumacher?" I showed her one of my comedy videos, and I was feeling insecure, so I said, I'm worried that I'm not funny. And she said yes. My mother never hugged me because she's British and I'm not a horse. She's tried to be more supportive recently. I asked her what she would do if I killed someone. She said, I'll help you the first time, but not if you keep doing it. I have mother issues. I never came to terms with being expelled from the womb. It's like she didn't want me up there. My ultimate fantasy is crawling back up my mother's womb. That woman will never let me near her vagina. No. I mean, clearly you guys don't remember it. It was a safe space. I have womb memories. This one time she farted and it was better than any roller coaster I've been on as an adult. I really hate fat shaming. My brother was fat, and I used to call him fat. And he got anorexia and died. That didn't happen. He's still fat. But it could have, and it haunts me. In case you didn't get it, he was fat and then he continued to be fat. Positive enforcement works. I've had sex dreams about every member of my family. Except... Thanks. Every member of my family except my sister, and it's really messed me up. Why can't I do my sister? My sister's a doctor. She saves lives, but she doesn't make people laugh. Apparently neither do I. It's true, she's actually not very funny, and it's sad for her and it's sad for her patients. Whereas I actually made someone die laughing. Not literally, someone came up to me after a show and said I made them nauseous. You're welcome. My parents got divorced just before I was born, so I feel really lucky that they never had sex while I was alive. That's disgusting. You know when you're bombing? Of course you do, you're American. That was a political joke. This one time when I was a kid, my dad and his girlfriend got into this big fight, and she shouted at him, "You drink too much liquor." And my dad told me that liquor meant coffee. And I felt confused because I never saw my dad drink coffee. But I did see my hard-working single mother. So from then on, I told everyone that my mother needed liquor to get out of bed in the morning. The teachers at school hugged me and said I was brave. Yeah. I took an Uber pool recently, and there was someone in the back seat with me, and then someone else got into the front seat, and she had this big thing of fries, and she was like, "I don't know if I should eat these." And the girl next to me was like, "Of course you should eat them." And I was like, "Don't eat them!" Just to provide a different perspective. I really don't get vaginal pubic laser hair removal. Because, you know, what about when the apocalypse happens and after 20 years all your clothes have disintegrated and then your pubic bone is cold? I bought fake Toms to avoid the charitable aspect of buying real Toms. You guys don't know what Toms are. I have a lot of sympathy for Americans that want to keep their guns. The Second Amendment is the only thing stopping the British coming back. I better go. It's incredibly exhausting being this low energy on stage. Thank you.
performed quite a bit in the UK. London, England, Scotland, England like London like it's its own country. It a little bit is. Every time I go to England, they're like, "Oh my God, you're from America? We hear you're broke and homeless and living on the streets. Is that true?" And I say, "Yes." Send money. I personally think that they feel maternal towards their little child America, because I don't know if you guys remember 5th grade history, but we broke off from them 200 plus years ago. Sound familiar to anybody? I look them straight and I go, "Here's the deal, Mother England. You're right. We're like teenagers now. We've crashed a car. We're out of money. You get that spare room ready, because we're moving back in." That's right. We're bringing our pregnant girlfriend, Mexico, with us. And she's on drugs. That was my big political joke. Hope you enjoyed it. That's all I got. It's strictly dick jokes after this. I don't hope you're ready for that. One more time for Isabella, everybody. All the way from London. Coming to the stage right now, this gentleman comes, he's hilarious, he's funny, he comes from Orlando, Florida. Please welcome Jeff Jones, everybody.
All right, Burbank. Yes, don't hold that against me. I am a Floridian, but I'm not one of those Floridians that you see on the news. I have never smuggled an alligator onto a plane in my pants. I have never been on Cops. I know people who have, but I have never been on Cops. This is fun being out here in California. Normally, I perform in the southeastern United States, so when I get on stage, that is the first time most of those people in the audience have ever seen a real live homosexual in person. You people are like, "Yeah, we see you people all the time. It's the hair that gave you away, and that or because you're dressed like a 1980s lesbian stand-up comic tonight. I don't..." But because I travel all around the Southeast, it's sort of like I am the gay ambassador to rednecks, because they ask me all the questions. And they ask me questions about gay shit I don't know. So I just make stuff up. Like the other night at a show, someone's like, "How come there's so many gay people in San Francisco?" I don't know. So I made up something. It's like, "I think it goes all the way back to the gold rush. When the pioneer men got in their wagons and left the women at home and headed west, and they got to San Francisco and struck it rich. And then they thought, well, do we go all the way back over there and get the women? Or let's just stay here, keep all the money, and fuck each other." That's kind of how I like to think it happened. Very lovely ladies down here. I've been seeing the sights since I've been here. I went to Target. That was good. I love Target, but I love just walking the aisles of the stores because there's good shit down there. My favorite aisle at the store is the cookie and cracker aisles because I love cookies. But for years, I thought that foods were classified according to shape. That's why they're on the same aisle. Then I realized that would mean that hot dogs and tampons would be on the same aisle, and that's gross. But you're a very happy lady here, ma'am. What's your name? Anna, can I ask you a question? Because I was at Target today, and this is bothering me. How come I can go to the Target and get hygiene products for my entire body, head to toe, in one aisle, but that next aisle over is totally dedicated to your vagina? It's not like it's Anna's vag aisle or anything. I'm sure yours is lovely, but there's a lot of work going into that thing, Anna. I ain't gonna find out. But I went down that aisle because I needed hot dogs, and there's weird shit down that aisle, Anna. There's tampons and pads with wings, because evidently this thing can fly. They had breathable panty liners, because I guess the vagina is not only part of the reproductive system, but the respiratory system as well. There's a whole section on odor, Anna. I checked it out because I was curious. They had all kinds of scents and flavors. They had Garden Meadow. I ain't familiar with the equipment, but I'm pretty sure it ain't supposed to smell like flour. What else they had? They had Ocean Breeze, which might be closer depending on the tide. I'm not quite sure. What else they had? They had New Car, which I don't know who you're fooling with that, Anna. It's not like you're going into the store or to work the next day and they're like, "I think Anna got a new car." It's like a Cadillac in here today. I don't really know. But Anna, since we're on the subject of your vagina, I gotta ask you a question, because I'm a comedian, so I watch a lot of TV all day because I don't do shit. So there was this commercial that came on today, and it's been coming on a lot during the lady talk shows. It's about this new plastic surgery that women are getting like crazy. It's vaginal rejuvenation surgery. You seen this? You heard of it, right? What the fuck? Are enough people, that many people look at your vagina that you feel the need to have it surgically rejuvenated? If that's the case, you're probably a whore. I'm just saying that right now. I mean, is this really causing a problem in Lady Social's life? He's like, you know, I'd love to have Susan over for brunch. But have you seen her pussy? It is a mess down there. Just can't look at a plate of bacon the same anymore. My biggest fear in life is a friend of mine's gonna have that surgery done. Because I've had female friends that had their boobs done. And what's the first thing a woman does when she gets a boob job? It's like, look at them, touch them, put your face in them. No! How do you respond to that shit? Oh, yeah, that's real nice. I'm assuming it's much better than the old one. I don't know. It's less roomy. I don't really know. Is that new car? My name's Jeff Jones. You guys have been awesome.
Jeff Jones! Oh, funny stuff. Spending a lot of time talking about vaginas. I personally would like a penis. Think about it, ladies. I would, about my very own. I borrowed a few. Dozen. But I noticed you want them back afterwards, you selfish bastards. Think about it, ladies, how great would that be? We'd have another brain to think with. I know that was a little low blow, but that was 5 minutes of bashing vaginas, which is kind of what they were made for. Never mind. One more time for Jeff Jones, everybody. Oh, coming to the stage right now, this gentleman hails all the way from Sherman Oaks, California. Please welcome the very talented Zach Lewis, everybody.
Okay, keep it going. No, stop it. Keep it going. Keep it going, yeah. Keep it going. Keep it going. All right, stop. Good, I established dominance quickly. Okay. All right, we're about to get really serious. I'm not joking. No, shut up, I'm not joking. Things are really, really crazy in America. I don't need to say that. We all know it. I said it anyways, but we all know it. So I thought it would do us all some good to slow down, get really serious, and enjoy some poetry. I'm completely kidding. I have no insightful political commentary to offer about anything. I should not be allowed to vote until all of the shows Netflix recommends to me are not cartoons. When I vote, it's exactly like I have sex. I'm just completely guessing on which hole to fill in. Summer's almost over. I didn't get my summer body. That's okay. That's okay, though. That's okay. I like my body. It's not great, but it's okay. I'm okay with it. But I also know that if I donated my body to science when I died, they'd probably still give it back. They'd send me back to my kids with a little bow on my head and a note that says, "We apologize for the inconvenience, but no one needed organs that were solely powered by queso lupus." So my body's not fantastic, but it's not terrible either. And I've spent enough time looking in the mirror and sucking my stomach in that I have convinced myself. So it's weird when, in real life, outside of the mirror, someone comments negatively on my body because it brings my illusion just crashing down. You know, like the other day, my friend Jake and I were talking, and he was talking about this new diet he was on and how hard it was. And he just casually throws into the conversation, "Oh, well, you know, Zach gets it. Battling family weight history is hard." become a part of this? I'm not a part of this. The last time I checked, the only fat ass in this conversation is you, Jake. I know that's not one of my funnier jokes. That just really pissed me off. I visited my grandparents' farm in Arkansas recently. It taught me what a different person I am since moving away from the South. Like, when I first moved to LA, I just didn't get it. You know, a Southern boy in the big city, you don't understand it. LA has its own lingo and speed that it doesn't bother to explain to anybody. The first year I moved out here, the only thing I heard when anyone spoke to me was, yeah, man, just take the 401-10-5 down to Calicoanga Canyon, get off on Simi Sherbank Pass, you'll see a Ralph's and a John's and a Vons and a Ralph's and a gluten-free hemp gym, take a left on Holly Glen Oaks, and it'll be right there next to Baja Mel's Pink Coffee Dogs. I promise, bro. Peace and love. But see, now when I hear that, I've lived in LA for like 5 years now, I hear that, I'm like, oh, that takes me to NoHo. Okay. But going back to the South, it's weird because now that I've lived in LA for so long, I've become the dreaded enemy of all Southern people, city folk. And they don't like city folk because they think, you know, we're arrogant. We think we're above them. But it's hard not to be a condescending city folk because we're so much better than them. We're so much smarter, and it's not their fault. It's not that they just don't have as an expanded worldview as we do, you know? It's just they're stuck in their own little bubble. They don't realize how crazy it is down there. Like, for example, I was talking to my grandma the other day. She called me to complain about the meth head that lives on the farm across from her farm. And she called me like, I had a goat go missing the other day. And I'm like, oh, Mama, that's terrible. And she's like, well, you know it was that no good Doug. I'm like, oh, okay, how do you know that? Well, you know, he just steals goats so he can buy more drugs. And I said, okay, Mama, the only thing I have taken away from this story is that your local drug dealer accepts goat as currency. And Grandma, that's insane. I'm gonna leave you with the worst joke I've ever written. I hope you guys like slapstick. Thank you. You've been fantastic.
First time with something shaped like that. Somehow I knew that was a special stick for him. I don't know why. One more time for Zach, apparently. Zach! I didn't know the secret word, Zach! I didn't think that was a horrible joke. I was like, I'll tell you the worst joke I ever wrote, but that I actually liked that joke. I thought it was kind of funny. Like, the worst joke I ever wrote is really bad, really bad. You want to hear it? Everybody else, she wants to hear it, the trollop in the front. The rest of you don't listen to this, okay? What do 9 out of 10 people enjoy? Gang rape. All right, there you go. I told you it was awful. You want another one? This is bad too. Why didn't Hitler drink gin? It made him mean. This is what happens when you're up late at night and you don't sleep, okay? Bad things happen in your brain. Don't remember the slapstick. That was cute. That was nice. We're about to go international again. Are you ready for all this? Are you ready? This lady hails from Toronto, Canada. Please welcome Angela Maya Reno Thurston, everybody. God, I hope I got
Hi, everybody. I just want to apologize because I'm in a really bad mood. I don't know what it is, but I just got here and I'm like really angry. I don't know why. Back home, I try to listen to motivational radio. I don't know if you guys have this out here, but John Tesh, he hosts this easy rock radio show, and every now and then he'll like put on these motivational sayings. One night he said, we should smile more throughout the day because it tricks the brain into believing you're happy. can you imagine smiling on a bus? Just imagine smiling on a bus. No one will sit beside you on the bus. Can you imagine driving and smiling? I'm driving a truck. I get really angry all the time back home because people cut me off all the time and I get mad. Wouldn't it be great if just once you can just hit them? Not like kill them. That would be a homicide. I watch Law and Order. No, like I'm just like hit their fender, get them really scared, drive by, and do this. That would feel really good. What? So, has the voice settled in right about now? Is it? This is really how I sound. A lot of people think I'm making it up. Why would I choose to sound like this? Huh? Why? Why? I am a mother. I am a grown woman. Do you know how hard it is to order pizza over the phone? Huh? Do you know how hard that is? People think my parents are Minnie Mouse and Elmo. No, they're not. Anybody getting a boner? Good. Thank God we have no sex offenders here tonight. It's good. I'm always worried. And don't I look like an overgrown Cabbage Patch doll? I sound like a Muppet. I look like one, too. And I'm getting older. I'm getting so old. When I sneeze, I pee. Oh, and I also fart. All at the same time. I don't fart pretty. No, not like you Japanese people. No. You people fart nice. It's beautiful how you people fart. I fart like an old man after an egg salad sandwich. Once I had this muffin back home, and it was filled with blueberries, cranberries, and then there was like muesli weed in it too. I took one bite. I thought, oh, this is really good. And then I tooted. I thought that's all I did. I crapped my pants. A grown woman crapping her pants. It's not appropriate, no. Does anybody like giving fellatio to their husband? I don't like it. I don't like the taste of sour yogurt shooting out of his pecker. And then I'm supposed to go, oh, honey, that was yummy. Is there any more? No, I don't like it. If there was chocolate ice cream shooting out of his pecker, I wouldn't be here right now. I'd be back home having chocolate ice cream. Ah! Wouldn't it be great if you could, like, squeeze the balls and different flavors would shoot out? Chocolate mint! Ah! Pistachio! Ah! Before I go, I want to leave you with one more. I'm not allowed to talk while having sex with my husband. It makes him feel like a pedophile. Especially when I yell, yay! Yay! Again! Yay! Thank you, Burbank!
I think we learned a lot there. Angela, everybody, give me some love right there. Do we have any scientists, any biologists in the crowd? Because we can work out that whole ball squishing thing for flavor. So I think genetically, forget stem cell research. That's what we need working on right there. Forget that. If we could get pistachio and chocolate mint, none of us would be ever in this club. One more time for Angela, everybody. Give her some love right there. Oh, coming to the stage right now, another name I can pronounce that's nice. This gentleman hails all the way from Dallas, Texas. Please welcome Brad LaCour, everybody.
Hey, guys. I was driving around. I heard one of those ads on the radio for male enhancement drugs, right? All right, easy lift. I can stop right there. The joke's done. I heard for male enhancement drugs, and you know the drill. Like, you take this pill, make your sex life better, that whole thing. Their big tagline, their big selling point to this was take this pill, it'll make every time like your first time. No fucking thank you. No thank you. I'll pass, right? First time wasn't that great. Don't know if I want it playing on a loop for the rest of my life, you know? I don't think I could do night after night of the girl going, oh, that's okay. A lot of guys finish early when putting the condom on. I don't need that shit, all right? I don't need it. First time, every time, dumbest fucking selling point I've ever heard. Guys, your first time wasn't great. I don't need to go into it. Women, was your first time magical? Was it amazing? Were you like laid out on a rock, surrounded by candles? There's a waterfall behind you. Hair comes down your face. He brushes it out. Fuck no, it wasn't like that. It was in the backseat of a car, right? Backseat of a car, bottom of a bunk bed, and your mom walked in. That was probably just me. We'll move past it. It's not a big deal. I try to share. I'm gonna never do that again. I love going to gay bars as a straight man because they make me feel beautiful and wanted and special. I love them. The first time I went, my gay friends took me, and they're like, we're taking you to the craziest one ever. I'm like, great. We go in there, and I'm going to the bar. I'm ordering a drink. My friend stops me. He goes, are you drinking tonight? Yeah, I'm drinking tonight. He goes, okay, you can. You can. No big deal. You can totally drink here. There's been some problems at the bar recently, though. There's been some problems. You can totally drink. There's been some problems at the bar recently with some of the guys roofing the drinks. So if you decide to walk away from your drink, go ahead and put a little napkin on top of that. Go ahead and put a little napkin on top of that before you walk away. And that was new for me. That was new for me right then. But why a napkin? What about a napkin stops anybody from doing any damn thing that they've ever wanted to do to my drink? What stops that? When they walk up, they see the napkin, they're like, can't crack that safe. Next guy, like, what the fuck? Kind of. What the fuck? You can't burn 4 calories lifting the corner of a napkin? You can't do that? What kind of lazy rapists are in this gay bar, you know? I'm cute. I'm worth it. Give it a shot. Make me just fucking try, you know? It wasn't weird when I got hit on. It was just weird how to handle it because a gay guy, he would walk up and he'd be like, hey, sailor, or whatever. And I would, sounds right. Anyway, and I was like, hey, no, I'm straight. And then they'd say, oh, we'll see. No, we're not going to see, all right? We're not going to see. Pretty sure about this shit. You know, I think I'm going to stick with it. And then a free drink would get put in front of me. And be like, fuck it, we'll see, all right? Yeah. Like where your head's at. You're thinking outside the box. Batter up, slugger, you know? You told your friends you were taking me home. I told myself it was a phase during college. Let's see who the liar is right now, right? I didn't go to college. Anyway, I was in a bad relationship for about 2.5 years. We've all been in one. It was awful. We fought all the time. We could never have nice things like happiness. We never had that. And, but at the end of the relationship, you try to like put on these Band-Aids and fix it. And no different with this one. She goes, hey, why don't we role play in bed? I'll go pick up a costume. We'll try that out. And I was like, no, you're perfect just the way you are. I don't need you to change a thing. Aw. Because the fucking trap. I know what a trap sounds like. I know what a trap looks like. There's like some bird seed and an Acme anvil. I'm not doing it, all right? I'm smarter than this shit. Not my first rodeo. Not doing it. And she goes, no judgment. You just tell me the costume and I'll buy it. I was like, no judgment. She goes, no judgment. I go, okay. Like, what about like a sexy schoolgirl? She goes, what are you, fucking pervert? You into kids? Is that what it is? I go, no, never mind. Scratch someone off. I don't know why anything in my head turns me on. I don't know. I never found Liv Tyler attractive. Then she was in Lord of the Rings with the elf ears. I'm like, let's do it. Nothing makes sense up here. It's a fucking mystery. but not a schoolgirl. We'll cross that one off. What about old standby, sexy nurse? She goes, sexy nurse? That's kind of sexist. Why can't it be a sexy doctor? I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. Dress up like a Supreme Court justice. Can we just have sex? I don't care. I tell you what, babe, I'll lower my standard on this fantasy right now. Can you just not look bored when I'm inside you? Can that be the fantasy that I get? No tears on birthday sex? Don't awe her. No, there's no reason. I don't give a shit. Dress up like a bridge troll. I'll solve your 3 riddles. Can I fuck you? All right? Can I fuck you? Guys, that's it for me. Have a great rest of your show.
Everybody, give him some love right there. I'm a chick. I like to rearrange things. I just brought that in case I want to plank later. Oh, God, really? I could do it. I could plank right there if I wanted to. One more time for Brad, everybody. Give him some love right there. Very funny. Very funny. Are we having a good time? If you're not, it's your own damn fault. That's all I'm saying. Coming to the stage right now, this gentleman, you probably heard of him. Maybe not. I don't know. If you haven't, you're an idiot. Please welcome the very talented Hal Sparks, everybody.
Keep an eye on that. That's not your job. How are you? You all right? Oh, are you excited for the eclipse? As if we needed another apocryphal sign? Jesus Christ. Like, I don't need this right now. Although, I'm from the Midwest, so everybody's like, are you going to fly back to the Midwest and watch it where it's kind of perfect? And are you ready to watch it? Have you got your little cardboard hole to go blind through? But, yeah, they always teach you, like, poke a little hole in it and stare through that because we need more one-eyed people. And, but apparently a lot of people are going to go back to the Midwest and they're going to, they want to go look because it's the best view or whatever. The best view is actually not looking at the eclipse itself. It's looking at your fucking friends do it as they fade into darkness in the middle of the afternoon. As this like, shadow falls across them. It's great to play devil. It's one of those moments where you can just stand there and look at your watch and go, as a matter of fact, don't even go to the Midwest. Find a tribe that's never met civilization and just take over. I mean, that's what eclipses are for historically, aren't they? Give me your women and I'll bring back the sun. He's full of shit. Darkness. Huh? All right. It's a theory. Like I said, we're clearly in the end times, in the beginning of the end times, I suppose. And here's the thing. After the election, I think everybody did a little bit of soul-searching. I know I did. I think personally, the best thing you can do after you've been through a shitty situation or something occurs to you that's not particularly good, you do a little self-reflection. You know what I mean? Maybe it's 80% them, but fix the 20% that's you. After a while, you date 6 assholes, So eventually, you have to do, like, maybe I should feng shui my life a little. And so ultimately, I think, what did we maybe do wrong from a progressive standpoint or something during the... And I think I figured it out. I did. I think I figured it out. I think it was the overuse of the suffix phobia. That was it. It's an ongoing thing. I think it's the problem. I think we need to solve it because we fucking tack phobia on the end of everything and thinks it ends the conversation, and it clearly doesn't. I'll give you an example. Homophobia, for example. I personally don't think homophobia exists, okay? I don't believe in it. I believe there are bigots, but... I don't think they get points because they're scared. You know what I mean? I don't let them off the hook because it's not that I am a bigot and I hate people. It's just that they make me nervous. I see them and they're it's like, it's not a phobia. It's for you're just an asshole. Okay, I'll give you an example. Because for me, personally, I don't believe in most phobias. Because I think for a phobia to be a real one, it has to pass what I call the spider test. Which is, it has to scare the living shit out of you, where you act completely irrationally. However, you could kill it with a rolled up newspaper. You know what I mean? It has to be so out of fucking whack with life that it's insane even to you. You're like, I know it's... Gary, get it. It's in the fucking... No, it's huge. It's fucking in there. And there's... Oh, it was a good one. As if we need more stress in life, Hal. It's just teetering. It's going to happen. Anyway, and again, I understand the fear of spiders because they can fucking bite you and you can die. When we used to live in fucking tents, it makes sense that people, the number one fear is, phobia is snakes, apparently. Phobia of snakes, the most, and I don't believe that's a fucking phobia. I don't. I just think it's smart to stay the fuck away from snakes. You don't know shit about snakes. It's best to give them a wide berth. You know what I mean? There's no one in here comes from a long line of people curious about snakes. Those fuckers died off thousands of years ago. They didn't live to have children because they went, is that an orange stripe or a yellow? Oh, fuck. I did not think that through. I am not. Curiosity is a mistake. I can't feel my ass. I can't feel my. There's no point in snake curiosity on an evolutionary level. So your body has taught you over centuries to go, okay, no, I know it's fine, but I'll just, okay. Heights. People say they've got phobia of heights. You hear that shit all the time. I've got a phobia about heights. No, you don't. You don't stand at the bottom of a tall building and go, fuck, that's scary. It's not the height that scares you. It's the fucking falling. It's the being this close to that's what scares you. And I'll let you off the hook. You shouldn't be afraid of falling, because no one's ever been killed by the fall. It's the abrupt stop that... Right? Was the cause of death deceleration trauma? Cement poisoning? I've actually been on the ledge of an 8-story building for work, okay? I did a scene where I was standing on an 8-story building with another human being. Now, the other human being I was working with had a big harness on him and a steel cable attached to a hook on his back that went to a window washing rig lock on the fucking rooftop. He wasn't going fucking anywhere. He took one step to hop up there and dunk, that was it. He couldn't commit suicide if he tried. It would take hours with a hacksaw, like a scene from Criminal Minds where I'm going to escape, like to get, however, in the work I had to do, I had to jump up there, stand in front of the guy, turn around, give him a hug, turn back around, hop over, and hop back down, which meant I didn't have a steel cable, okay, attached to a window washing rig. I had a series of nylon ropes with 6 knots in them, and a dude running them like a fucking puppeteer or somebody on a windjammer, trying to win a race. And he's shortening and lengthening all these ropes. And think back for yourself. The last time you saw nylon rope do anything in a movie, someone died. All nylon rope ever does is and everybody dies. That's it. Cliffhanger, just think about it. No one has ever been saved by nylon rope. So I have 6 of these fucker things. And I don't have a problem with heights intellectually. I don't have a problem with the idea of heights. But when I hopped up there at first, my knees didn't really check in with my brain and see how I felt about it. My knees just started doing this. Like, genuinely, like, old cartoon. My knees started shivering like those little shitty pocket dogs people seem to carry. They're like, I want a dog, but not a real dog, just a dog I can carry around, because I get a little nervy, and I like to have a dog that I can always have on me, that I can always pet sometimes or whatever, but I don't want a big dog. So can you breed dogs that are normal and natural into an unnatural size with big buggy eyes and kind of thin hair, because I'm hypoallergenic, something that I can pet all the time. It looks like a burn victim and kind of goes like this all the time. And, something that makes me feel good. But if a child tries to touch it, it'll nip his fucking finger off. That always looks cold and sort of sad. Like that kind of a dog. Okay, so my knees were 2 fucking pocket chihuahuas just going, whoa, what the fuck? And there was a reason for that. Because psychologically, I didn't have a problem with being up there. But my knees had a better memory than I did. And my knees were going, hey, asshole, you almost fell getting out of the tub 2 weeks ago. Get the fuck back. There is no genetic upside to standing here. You have 4 chances of dying and 1 to live. And it's that way. What? It's not a phobia. Oh. Pisses me off, for fuck's sake. And then we attach it to people's being and think it solves a fucking conversation. It doesn't. There aren't any homophobes. There's fucking bigots. That's it. Same thing with Islamophobia. Oh my God. I'm setting it down here so you guys don't get nervous. People hear Islamophobia all the fucking time. Oh, people are Islamophobic. They're not afraid of Islam. They don't know shit about Islam. It's not like you could tear a page out of the Quran, chuck it at their feet, and they jump on the fucking tub. Going, oh my God, that is fucking squiggly. Like, they don't know anything about Islam. They don't even check. They're afraid of men who appear to be from Afghanistan from the ages of 16 to 37. That's it. If you feel like you can outrun him or he's too small to lift the bazooka, you don't give a fuck. You're not nervous about him. It's this little particular window of dudes, and it's pathological. It has nothing to do with actually, their religion, because you could see a Greek hipster with no mustache and freak the fuck out. It's just, mental picture. And there is one element of Islamophobia that could qualify as a nervy fear that is borders on phobia, and that is, of course, it's not a woman in a hijab, because that's just bigotry. People who want to snatch a hijab off, that's just clearly bigotry. But a burqa, technically speaking, you don't know who's under there. You kind of do. You probably do. You're probably right. It's probably a very devout woman who believes deeply in her religion. But it could also be a fat ninja who's let himself go. Just for a split second, and then you're dead. And I'm just saying, I'm not letting you off the hook, but I understand why you're like, who the fuck is what the... And this might surprise you in that I'm very, I would consider myself very liberal, but I'm actually pro-burqa. I get it, I don't think it's necessary now. But I understand how it came about. It came about in the fucking 14th century. In what is now Afghanistan. Like, that makes fucking sense. If you picture yourself a father. You're a father in Afghanistan, and you have this beautiful 12-year-old daughter. Just gorgeous. Green eyes, flowing brown hair, deep brown skin, just aquiline features. Gorgeous. And the fucking Vikings and the Northern Europeans are coming down from the north. The Romans and the Greeks are coming from the south. They're fucking raping and pillaging everywhere they go. As a father, you'd go, okay, fuck this. If you're going outside, wear a tarp. Because I don't trust any of these sons of bitches. If they get a glance at you, they're just going to snatch you up and ride the fuck away. And if you go outside, take your brother with you. Everywhere you go, you take your fucking brother with you, okay? Always have a guy present. And you know what? I don't trust these Greek motherfuckers. Put a tarp on him, too. He wears a tarp, and you wear a tarp, and your grandmother wears a fucking tarp, and the goat wears a tarp, because these Vikings will fuck anything, I swear. Have you seen these hairy blonde bastards? This looks good, whatever. Everybody wears a fucking tarp until we invent sunscreen and cops. Right? All religious garb that has existed for any length of time had a practical use, or it wouldn't have stuck around. It had a material usage. Burqas literally are sunscreen. They do protect you from early signs of aging, which is you spent all your goats and your fucking land on the hottest chick in town, and later on she looks like a saddlebag because you live 6 blocks from the sun. Ask anyone in their 60s in Vegas. It's like, stay in fucking doors. You're like, we don't live in Vegas, we terraform that fucking place, okay? It's just giant air conditioners with slot machines. You have more of a chance of freezing to death in fucking Vegas than you do of dying of heat stroke. You can't watch a fucking movie without a fucking parka. It's like, Jesus Christ, if I have to be indoors for more than 2 hours, it's fucking 51 in here. With the wind chill factor in... Which is bullshit. Don't get me started on wind chill factor, because shut the fuck up. Like, hey, yeah, it's 12 degrees, but with the wind chill, it feels like -7. Don't fucking tell me how to feel. All right, and whenever it's that cold, for the record, if you're from Chicago like I am, or anywhere else, or it's fucking freezing, like, they're just like, yeah, it feels like 7 degrees. No, there's a certain point where the number doesn't fucking matter anymore. Below 2 degrees, it doesn't feel like 6 or -2. It feels like fuck, son of a bitch, fuck, shit, god damn it, shit. God damn it, son of a... Whoa, turn the vents down, wait till it turns on. Turn the heat on, but... God damn it! Fuck, it's cold, son of a bitch. News and weather with Tim in the half hour, and yeah. So I understand the burqa. The burqa made sense, just like the yarmulke makes sense. Because the yarmulke, Jews tend to come from a very sunny part of the world. Too much sun exposure causes cancer. Jews tend to bald right here. Cap that shit. It makes sense. Saves lives. That's all you care about. You should probably wear a hat. It's sunny out. Fuck you. God said wear a hat. Oh, shit. Okay, yeah. That makes sense. So I don't believe in homophobia. I don't believe in this. God, you heard about it. Homophobia, Islamophobia, xenophobia. Holy shit, which is, I think, fear of warrior princesses, right? Because, yeah, and that's understandable because, goddamn, you know what I mean? They're, like, sexy, but you want to fuck them, but they're like, oh, my God, she's so big, and she's got a knife, and you're like, I appreciate it, but I don't know how to make a pass, and she's so, and I'm not xenophobia, you know. Transphobia, of course. A lot of news about transphobia, which is, of course, a fear of cars that turns into a fear of robots. The odd thing about it's easy, but the interesting thing about transphobia is that it gets brought up around the bathroom bills, like North Carolina's bathroom bill and all that bullshit. And they, for all practical purposes, if you really listen to those fuckers, they don't seem to be afraid of trans people. Because A, when the fuck are they going to run into a trans person and fucking know it, you know, in general? And secondly, it seems like when you ask them, they're like, dude, don't you understand? Like, hetero guys can just dress up in fucking dresses and go in locker rooms anytime they want to. You're like, I went to high school with guys like that. That's actually heterophobia, and it kind of makes sense. That's justified. There's like 9 Mike Huckabees in this building alone. So I don't believe in the phobia part of it or whatever. I just think, granted, you know, obviously women's issues became very important and part of the conversation, which I think is very necessary. You know, in the beginning, the conversation was about the equality of women in the workforce as far as pay, and for the record, I'm for it, if that needs to be said, which it shouldn't, but I'm going to. Anyways, legally, I believe that should be part of the charter of a corporation in the United States because we have equal protection. It should just naturally be part of it. You should have to be written into your bylaws that if you're forming any kind of a business in this fucking country, it should be written into your bylaws every fucking time that you will pay a woman for the same amount for the same work. End of story. Or you don't get one. And if you violate it, the law takes your charter away. It's super fucking simple, and it should happen every time, in every circumstance, everywhere. However, the other conversation that happened a lot was about the objectification of women, because we had the pussy grabber in chief, you know, bragging about sexually assaulting women. And for the record, can I just go on record and say, if you have to grab, you're doing something wrong. I'm just saying, if you play your cards right, it'll just land in your hand like a dove. You know what I mean? You shouldn't have to, you know what I mean? Like if you're grabbing, you just got no game, man. You know, just... Come back whenever. You should see me in the park. I'm just saying, if you have to grab, you're unwelcome. So fuck. And, I mean, she might tell you to grab later, but that's not how the intro. Anyways, never mind. I'm just saying, anything's possible after you've crossed the line. You're like, we're cool, we got a game, all right. But the weird part of the objectification argument is that invariably, if I would have a conversation about the objectification of women, invariably this would be with women who had a box of dicks under their bed. And that's really an extraordinary leap, because there is no single greater act of objectification than to have a box of severed penises under your bed of varying sizes and colors. That's really awkward, ladies, because, I mean, literally, the objectification is writ large in the fact that you just have the penis. There is no semblance of humanity. Say what you will about male sex dolls, and they look frightening for sure. You know, but at least they're a whole person, for Christ's sake. Women are just like, I don't need any of him around. I don't even want to think about him right now. I just need the appendage, and that's it. And here's the thing. I would almost understand if you had the same one a bunch of times. Like you had a significant other and you missed them, quite frankly, and so you bought one of those plaster casting things off the internet and you had 6 or 7 of them made just in case. You always have one on the ready, one in the glove box, one in the dishwasher, one in the nightstand. Anytime FaceTime rings, you know, and you know, but you don't. You have a variety of sizes and shapes, like you're a serial killer in a fucking Criminal Minds episode. You got a giant purple one that's got veins on the side of it, and a little normal kind of semi-human one, and some sort of alien covenant-looking thing that looks like, you know, attack and stuff. And a lot of them have remote controls, which is like this bizarre necrophiliac sense of like, it's alive, you know, and that's, you know what's interesting? You ever see guys talk about the coming onslaught of robots? That's guys will break off into this conversation a lot. AI is going to happen. Robots are going to kill us all. This is a standard guy conversation. Happens all the time. Women seldom join this conversation in any way, and I think that makes sense because they're not really afraid of robots. They're like, "What do you worry? I've been fucking robots for years. This doesn't. I don't know what the problem is. I've got a remote that will handle most of this." You know, men would be running from Terminators coming over the hill, and women would just go click, and all the robots would just start like can't even shoot straight when you're so kind of, you know, they're not even, now they're vibrating and now the battery's dead. You're fine. Yeah, go about your life. So I'm just saying I'm sick of being objectified. That's a standard, you know, that's consistent. Women can go into a sex shop and have a party. Women can laugh in a sex shop. What kind of privilege is that? That's amazing. Women can go into sex shops in groups and wander around like this is hilarious. Oh my God, you need one like this, sister. This is so, like, they can stand in front of a wall of severed penises like some weird Game of Thrones end cutscene. Like, we have cut off all the penises of the traitors, mademoiselle. Have at them. They are dragon feed. Just chuck them like sausages. You know. Meanwhile, a guy in a sex shop, it's the lowest point in his life. It's pathetic. They wander around like Gollum, like, don't look at me. I'm disgusting. So much so that they won't even make eye contact with another guy who's there for the same reason. He's on the exact same moral plane. He's not doing anything you're not doing, but you can't even look. Oh, God, I'm horrible. Don't. Shit, And I think it boils down to the fact that on a material level, the devices used, for penetrative or receptive acts are vary in their inspectability. A phallus you can inspect for booby traps, whatever. You can look at that and go, this is a safe implement. I've had it in the dishwasher. It is clean. It will be fine or whatever. But a penetrative sex toy looks like a trap or a prank your friend is playing on you. There's no way to feel safe about, dude, put your dick in this. It'll be good. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I can't. No, dude, it feels like the real thing. Yeah, whatever. I'm not. No, there's no fucking way. I'm not doing it, dude. No, because I know my ex-girlfriend's in the bathroom with a fucking remote that has a button that says chomp on it. I'm not. Okay. I have a walrus dick, and sorry, did I jump into that conversation too early? I got a walrus dick as a gift. That's true. Actually, it's not true. I got re-gifted a walrus dick. That's true. I have a friend. I was traveling in Canada, and the Inuits in Canada use walrus penises, which, if you aren't familiar, not like a bull's penis, which is often, leathered up and stretched and sold as a cane in Texas as some sort of novelty. Try, Pennsylvania road oysters or whatever the fuck they call testicles to try and get know-nothing travelers to eat them. A walrus dick is a bone. The walruses have been gifted by the Lord in evolution to have a bone that it comes out of their body, and because there's quite frankly, normal arousal is not going to happen for a walrus. It's just nothing in nature that fucks like this is going to go, hey, and get aroused. There's no point of arousal in. You know what I mean? You're like, so much better than my last walrus, Everybody looks like Wilford Brimley with a pituitary issue. It just, it's saying. Anyways, point being, love him. Anyway, so, but nature has given them a physical phallus. So, and it is a bone that is akin to, quite frankly, an elephant's tusk. It is nearly like ivory. It is very dense, and it is incredibly heavy. Sadly, the Inuits and other tribes use them as weapons, because they fit perfectly in your hand. They kind of hang at a curve because there's a little gap for where the vas deferens goes, which is where, of course, the semen enters the spermatozoa. But never mind. Anyway, so, or vice versa. So anyway, so holding, so they're holding it, like this, and it kind of grips in your hand, and it's got a big, it's really, and sadly, they also use them to club seals. It's one of the traditional weapons, which, is officially the worst way to go. clubbed to death by your grandfather's penis. I mean, officially, of all the ways to die, that's officially the worst. You're the cutest thing that's ever. You hear a. You look up, and as you fade into the great beyond, you see a stranger wielding your grandfather's cock. That's the worst way to go, bar none. So, as a weapon. Anyway, so I got one as a gift. Because my friend had gotten it as a gift, and she didn't check a bag on the plane, so she didn't want to have it in her luggage as she went through TSA. She was afraid, and I was like, I can't wait for that to happen. I was like, I didn't check a bag either, but I can't wait to get selected randomly. Sir, you've been chosen for random select. Yeah, sure I have, because I have a walrus cock in my bag, and you saw it on the X-ray. There is no way this is an accident. So, and I did everything. I threw water in my face to look a little sweaty. I spoke with a nondescript accent. I don't know what do you, made ticking sound. Just to make them, we need to fucking frisk this dude. And sadly they didn't. But I got home with it unmolested, as it were. And I use it for home protection. I use it for home security. Instead of having a bat by my bed, I have this walrus dick. Yeah, right. And I don't have a gun because I live in an apartment, and my neighbor's problem, my life is not their problem. Nobody who lives in a fucking apartment building needs a goddamn gun to protect themselves, because your neighbor doesn't need to, have the Cheerios they're eating blasted out of their fucking hands through the wall because you forgot to lock up. There's not... In the country, you need a fucking gun. That's one of the things I think city people and country people talk at cross purposes. In the city, too many fucking people around. A bullet can carry, there's somebody right over there. But in the woods, are you out of your fucking mind? Of course you need a gun. The rednecks are like, I gotta have a gun, man. The woods are full of other rednecks. So, man, these guys toss something back, we're all fucking dead, So I know I go to church with that son of a bitch, but 2 whiskeys in, he's a killer, so... No, rednecks need guns, and I'm for it, and whatever. But so I have this in my house just in case there's an intruder or something like that, because no one else will be harmed in this exchange. It is between me and my attacker, and technically speaking, it's a win-win. I think it's a win-win, because if I'm killed, and what the fuck? I was wielding a fucking walrus dick. Like what? So, and I now get to be the greatest gift a comedian can ever experience: funny forever. Hal Sparks died swinging a walrus dick at a well-armed man. Like, that's hilarious. I don't care if it's shame, it's still funny. It's an apocryphal tale, but it's hilarious. And here's the thing, if I win and I best this human being, I'm the most macho motherfucker that has ever lived. Did you hear Hal Sparks beat a guy to death with a walrus penis? That's amazing. And since we live in a society that's basically a big game of telephone and nobody gives a shit about details anymore, 10 years from now, all it's going to be is, Hal Sparks had a walrus dick. Did you know that? And that's all I care about. Just saying, pay attention to the details. Oh, my God. I don't drink. I should probably tell you that. I don't drink. I've never had an alcoholic drink in my life. And the room goes deathly silent. Not one of the bad guys. Driven a lot of people home safely. Held a lot of hair. And and I will say though, drunks are the funniest human pukers. I will give them that. Of all the reasons to throw up, being drunk is the funniest. Because I don't know if it's, again, this is all external. I don't participate, so I'm looking at this from the outside. But there apparently are stages of drunk where you can tell it's coming, like a setup and punch, because at some point drunks get wobble knee, this whole fucking... that business where everybody's been walking at some point and their knee is just gone, fuck it. Like that, you ever had that? It's not even tripping on something or even blaming this. It's literally a blurble. Like your knee just goes, I don't know, I was miles away. I wasn't even thinking. I was like over here and you're like going that way and I want to go that way. And I was like, there's the sail and you're going this way, blurble. Like your knee just couldn't give less of a shit, right? Well, drunks, that's like a channel. Like eventually that's just like click and they're fucking... And they scan the room, picking their emotion they're going to get stunted into the rest of the evening. That's kind of like... And then about 45 minutes later, this happens. Woo! And that would be fine if they just fucking threw up and got over with it, but they don't. This goes on for another 2 hours. It becomes the new norm, and then you forget about it, and then the first time you're like, oh, there's our Uber. Oh, fucker! And they're like, I'm sorry. And then once it's on like Donkey Kong. Like, I don't know if drunks like store all their vomit in their tailbone or what, but it all seems to come out like they become one with the tides, you know what I mean? Like they're break dancing and their own vomit is just... There does seem to be some delineation between the sexes in terms of grievous overservement to the point of inebriation and regurgitation, in terms of you will often find a man parked up against the back of the club or party, whatever it is, with his head propped up against the wall, and his job is now to barf on his good shirt all night. That's it. That's just... Women, on the other hand, you will often find outside the venue because they have the decency to go outside. And you will find them leaning up against a mailbox or a parking meter or something like that, holding their shoes at arm's length because they still have the mental acuity and awareness to know these are too expensive to throw up on. So they're holding them wide of the splash zone. And women need to tell you the whole story about why they started drinking in the first place and how it's not their fault and how Kevin's a fucker. Blah, you know. Drunks are the funniest human pukers. Cats are the funniest animal pukers. My girlfriend's cat talks before he barfs. Anybody have a talking cat? And it makes like a human kind of meowing noise. Okay, I need you to know as a professional that I'm not exaggerating this in any way for comic effect. I'm not adding anything to this to make it funny. This is the actual noise that Charlie the cat makes every time he throws up, without fail, every single fucking time. This is the... That's it. That's the fucking noise. It's, I don't know what the fuck that is. It sounds like... It sounds like a comedian from an old black and white movie in the 30s, and that's like his shtick. You kids, get out of here. Am I right? You know what I mean? And I can now, that sound is so specific, I can hear it anywhere in the fucking house. And as soon as I hear, the whole world goes into slow motion. I'm like, no. Get him off the bed. Knock him into the bathroom where he can barf on the linoleum, the fucker. I've seen him start throwing up in the kitchen and then start waddling towards the carpet. I'm like, get the fuck back in there. What are you doing? Stay where it's not porous, you bastard. Jesus. So I don't drink, and I don't throw up either. I haven't thrown up at 3 times since high school. I have friends who are pros at throwing up. You know anybody who's like that? Who like, my stomach is a little thing, so I just threw up and I feel fine. Fuck you. I don't, like, no. If I feel like I'm going to throw up, I fucking fight it. No, you do, no. No, you go out the way everybody else does. You're going that way. I have an entrance-only policy. That sounded wrong, but... You guys are awesome. This is a lot of fun. All right. My name is Hal. It was named after the computer in 2001: A Space Odyssey. That's true. Which means I do tech support for my entire fucking family every Christmas. Anybody in charge of like screaming at Alexa for your mom or fixing their phone every goddamn time? Mom, what's your iTunes password? I don't remember. Okay, if you want anything, you have to say, Alexa, go to the... I don't understand. I'm not talking to you. I'm trying to tell you how to use... just say, Alexa, whenever you... I don't understand that. Shut the fuck up. I'm trying to tell her how to... Arguing with a fucking robot with no body. My mom named me after the computer in 2001: A Space Odyssey because I was born the year after she read the book. She read the book 2001. She had a moment when I was in her womb of maternal wisdom, where she, where she was like, I just feel like he's gonna be smart, and Hal sounds like, and she's fucking right. What was that about? Stop tittering over there. She was right. I'm fucking smart as hell, but the part about suffocating the whole crew and losing my mind, that didn't factor in, apparently, in the thinking process. Read the book or see the movie. I can't keep you up on everything. But I'm blessed that she decided to name me Hal, even though I have to turn around every time somebody stubs their toe and everybody fucks up my name at Starbucks by adding an L, which makes it Hall, which is a word what the fuck is wrong with you. I'd understand if you spelled it H-O-W-L and we just called it a fucking day, but you should look at it with an extra L and go, I walk down that. That has doors. I'm a fucking moron. How could I be so fucking stupid with a marker on a cup? And, yeah. My dad, I'm lucky, though, because my dad wanted to name me Hank. Yeah. Hank Sparks. Oh, yeah. With a name like that, I only got one job opportunity in the whole world. Banjo player at the Grand Ole Opry. That's it. That's all I... Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for coming out here tonight. That was lovely, Loretta. What a beautiful singing voice you have, We got a great friend of the Grand Ole Opry coming out for you right now on the 5-string banjo. His name is Hank Sparks, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much, Slim. It's so nice to be here. I don't have a banjo. We lost it in customs, so I'll just do this. Like with the name Hank Sparks, I wouldn't even be able to stand up straight. I just have to walk. How you doing, ma'am? I'm Hank Sparks. Nice to meet you. How you doing? Would you like regular gasoline, or should I abduct you right now? Because that's pretty much all this place is for. That's right. Good to see you. How are you? Nobody will miss you. Wonderful or whatever. Just already got chloroform on their nose. That's good. Reading. It's interesting when a woman writes words on her breasts and gets mad when people stare. Maybe I'm just bookish. How are you, sir? Very understated. You come from a funeral? Wonderful. And this, of course, these gentlemen over here from the legal team, they'll be judging everything you see tonight and filing attorney claims against it. And this, of course, we've already got one missing. That she's dead now. That's not good. I'm Hank Sparks. Good to see you. Fuck, man. Here's the thing. If I have a message for you folks, and I think that I do, it's fuck old people. That's right. I'm sick of their shit, and I think it's time we call them out, and I'm tired of tiptoeing around these bastards. And I don't understand in this culture how we pick on babies, but we let old people off the hook. That makes no sense to me. Because everybody's shitting on babies all the time. Oh, my God, that baby was crying the whole fucking time we were on the plane. That baby was crying. Oh, my God, it wouldn't shut the fuck up. The baby was crying the whole time. Shut up, baby! Oh, my God, the baby wouldn't shut the fuck up. He's crying all the time. Of course he's crying. He's a fucking baby. He doesn't understand pressurization. He thinks he's going to die. His head feels like it's going to explode, and he just got here. He doesn't speak the language. The only response he can have is, ah! Ah! That makes sense. And if you think you can outthink the baby in this situation, I would like to test you. I would like to cut your tongue out, give you appendicitis, and drop you in Thailand and see how articulate you are all of a sudden. We fuck with babies, we speak baby talk to them. Can you imagine moving to a country and for the first year everybody talks bullshit to you? I need to go to the bathroom. I gotta ask some of these people how to go. Excuse me, how do you go to the bathroom? Okay. Oh shit, I hate this place. Babies are allowed to be stupid, they're new, but old people? Fuck them. Now, right about now, some of you are starting to sphincter up on me because you're going, dude, knock it off. We brought one with us, and there's a silver hair on my 6, and he's giving me the stink eye. Obviously, if you're at a comedy show, you're not the ones I'm worried about, right? You're not the batch that I'm concerned with. You know, if you're out, you're ambulatory, looking for amusement. You're what Malcolm Gladwell would refer to as an outlier, you know. There's a specific subset of old people I'm talking about. I refer to them as the vast majority. And they say stupid shit like this. Hey, buddy, when you get to be my age, you'll know a goddamn thing or two. except how do you work this remote? How's it work? I can't figure out how to work it. I pushed game, but the game didn't come on. It was Xbox came on. Charlie's Xbox is on there, and I don't know how to turn it off. Which channel you want? 351? I don't know. Push 3, 5, and 1 in that fucking order. You've been on this planet 6 decades longer than I have. Use some deductive reasoning, for Christ's sake. And look, I understand. My grandmother's 96, and I'm sick of her shit. We moved her into a new apartment, and when I say we moved her into a new apartment, I mean it. We didn't put her in a home and forget about her. We tried that, but she wouldn't go for it. Apparently, the ramp is a dead giveaway. And but when we moved, you're gonna roll me out of this son of a bitch on a gurney, aren't you? This isn't an apartment, you know. So we, when I moved her in, I got her a brand new washer dryer. Okay, brand new LG apartment, like European style thing. I converted a closet next to the kitchen. I repiped the whole fucking thing. It took me 8 hours to put all this shit together. She walked in after I'd worked all day, looked at it for 8 seconds, and then walked out and went, I don't know how to operate these things. They got all these lights and buttons and buttons and lights and lights and her head fucking starts going. She's got tardive dyskinesia, which if you're not familiar is that grandma bobblehead syndrome where their head, you know, and it gets worse if she gets upset. So if you have to break bad news to her, you have to hold her ears first. Like, I got some bad news, Grandma. Well, get a hold of my ears. I don't want my head falling off, you know, and she's... And the reason I got her these things, by the way, is because they have an apartment, in her apartment, they do have laundry. It's 2 stories down in the basement. But I don't need my 96-year-old grandmother walking down 2 flights of stairs with a full laundry basket. Are you out of your mind? It's not because I'm worried about her, because if she falls down the steps and dies, it'll be over very quickly. She's made out of balsa wood and crepe paper at this point. She's very dry. You know, it'll sound like popcorn finishing in a microwave. You know, like when you don't quite know it's over, you know, it's... Oh, shit. Which is the single most stressful thing to cook in the world, microwave popcorn, because you sit there and you just don't fucking know. You're like staring at it. Oh, shit. Smoke fire, bad. Burned. And then the whole kitchen stinks of burning grandma forever. You know, but she, relax. But, okay, chill the fuck out, because for the record, can I just say, I'm talking about my grandmother. I'm not talking about your grandmother. I'm sure your grandmother's lovely. I'm sure she's this cherry-cheeked individual who does nothing but make cobblers and all kinds of stuff. Like, my grandmother, I've been doing stand-up since I was 15. And my grandmother used to sit in the back with my mom and yell, dirtier! So don't... I don't have time for the whole story, but just keep up. Okay, so anyways, I spent all day, you know, hooking these things up. She comes out and she's got her, you know, head going, and she's like, I don't know how to operate these things. Got all these lights and buttons and buttons and lights. So I was like, Grandma, the buttons say on and off and hot and cold. You didn't forget how to fucking read. Push the button and leave the room. That's how you know it's working. Like, there's no, and goddamn it, it's not like she didn't have a washing machine before. She did. We didn't introduce her to the concept. We didn't find her in the woods like Nell or those kids in Mama banging animal skins on a rock. She had a washing machine, and it was way more complicated. This dial on top of it. It's like you were cracking a safe every time. And if you missed your setting by 1 notch, you had to go all the way around, wasting water. And it had a wood paneling sticker on it. Across the top on the control panel. Wood panel. Sticker. Wood. Because for some fucking reason, my grandmother's generation was so comfortable bullshitting themselves that every electronic device that entered the house from 1968 to 1984 had to have wood paneling stickers on it, or they didn't think it was a quality item. And it was fucking pathological. Shit that had nothing to do with wood. They're like, that's a mighty fine Betamax you have there, Gary. Oh, yes, whittled at the lake last year. Oh, you want Betamax, that's hickory. You make VHS, that's birch if you want a good picture, you know. Fucking old people. And here's the thing. I know, you know, old people aren't a species. They're us a little while from now, you know? I'm not going to escape being old. Don't get me wrong. And here's the thing. I want to be old. Understand? Yes, I do. And I don't want to be healthy old. Here's the thing. I don't want to be good like Jack Palance doing one-handed push-ups at the Oscars old. I want to be fucked up old. I want to be like crepey and bony and like led around by my crusty serratic elbow by an unfortunate nephew, like bald with a Band-Aid on top of my head that nobody has changed in weeks because why bother? And every time the wind cuts up, it sits up because it's given out and you can see the brown spot and the unhealed wound. Ears getting bigger, nose getting bigger, tufts of hair just out of wherever. No, so much hair in my nose, you're like, how the fuck does he breathe? But you know I am breathing. You know how you know? Because I got one hair that broke free and is wiggling on every exhale, and you can't take your eyes off it. And you're like, I don't know whether to cut it or pluck it or pull it or cut it or pluck it or pull it. God damn it. And one of my eyes is always shut and seeping some sort of liquid, and I pat it all the time with a handkerchief that I'm offering to people when they sneeze, which is even more disgusting. You need a handkerchief. The other one's always open all the time, but you don't know where to look in it because it looks like a cockroach crawling around under an egg white. And picture it. And I want shit posture too. I don't want to just be like, I want to look like those men. They look like a lowercase r. Have you ever seen those guys? I always see those guys in the Russian area in West Hollywood. You ever see those guys? I see them crossing the fucking street. Who is sending them on errands? Who sends Grandpa to the store? The motherfucker can't look up. How does he find his way home? Are there breadcrumbs? Does he bump into shit like a Roomba? I don't understand. Where's Grandpa? He's on the charger. Don't worry about it. It's gonna be okay. So I want to be old, God damn it. It's gonna take a while for me to get old. People used to be able to get old in a hurry. Back in the 20s, did you ever see Ken Burns' documentary on the Dust Bowl? Those people look like shit. They'd be like homesteader families. There'd be this like 17-year-old dude, his 15-year-old wife, and their two 13-year-old kids, and everybody looks 80. Like, I'm almost 19. I built this home myself. Worked the land, you know. Respect your elders. He's 27, you know, like. People got old in a fucking hurry. Now, everybody's aging better. My mom's in a spin class. She tap dances. She joined, like, I'm dead serious. There's a 92-year-old man who just broke the world's record. He can bench press 225 pounds. I know, you can't. Isn't that depressing? You're like, God damn. But centenarians, people over the age of 100, are the fastest growing group of human beings on the planet. They're outpacing babies, for fuck's sake. And they said, according to the Harvard Longevity Project, which is a 30-year study on human longevity that I'm sure you all read, according to that, within the next 10 years, life expectancy in the United States goes up to 250. 250. I know. You tell some people that, and they're like, yeah. And other people are like, fuck that. Pretty people immediately are like, no, I don't want to. No, as soon as this goes, fucking shoot me. I can't skate on personality for 224 years. I don't have one. I don't know what I'm going to do. That's true. It won't all happen at once. In the next 10 years, they're going to add 40. In that 40, they'll add 60. In that 60, they're going to add 100. But the first person to live to be 250 is alive right now. Statistically speaking, it's a girl, and she's 15 years old. And the first person to live to be 1,000 is just 10 years younger than she is. 1,000-year lifespan. You tell people 1,000, they're like, where the fuck are we going to put these assholes? We only live 65 and change, and we're already clogging up the joint. Where are we going to put them? Space! We're going to fucking space. Pack your shit. And everybody's like, I don't want to go to space. Yeah, I saw that thing on Mars. We don't know how to get back. Really? Do you want to get back? We're going to build a wall that is so... Do you want to get back? Let's get the fuck out of here. Honestly? We can all do better. We'll colonize this group tonight. We can believe me. We're the best among us. But the problem is, the nearest planet, which science has discovered 198 livable planets in the last, 198. Some of them 65 times the size of Earth. That's fucking amazing. It would take us weeks to fuck those places up. They're all, 500 years away at top speed. We build the fastest ship. We send it, to Proxima, which is the nearest planet that they've named because it's close, Proxima. That's true. It'll take 500 years to get there. And, of course, so you got to live 1,000, so you can fly there, take a look around, fly back, and go, it'll work, Tell people about space travel, though, and they'll get up in your ass about fucking That's bullshit. We haven't even been to the moon. I have a friend, I don't do drugs, but if I had a drug, it's probably getting caught in a YouTube hole because my friend sends me conspiracy theory videos. You ever had one of those assholes like, dude, you have to watch this. If you fold the dollar bill from the 1 to the 100 in order, it proves that, you know, the Illuminati made a cartoon of the Twin Towers coming down. They've been laughing at us since before we even had the Twin Towers. This is fucked up. And they send me a video at like 5 o'clock on a Friday. He's like, check it out. And you're like, yeah, dude, this is fucking bullshit. I'm not going to watch it. And then you watch it and you're like, that can't be an accident. That's weird. Who would even think that up? That's amazing. Wonder what this video's about. Shit. You know, next thing you know, it's 3 days later, you got tinfoil on your head, and you're painting your windows black, and watching videos about how Puff Daddy's a Freemason, and he is. And because I'm named after a computer, I watched a special about the Hadron Collider. And I don't know if you've, you know, I know what you're thinking, Hal, in this political climate, you're going to talk about the Hadron Collider? Yeah, I am. I don't have time to tell you the whole story, but I will tell you that when they turned it on, they had a dance troupe perform the dance of Shiva on top of it, because I think the scientists were just hedging their bets. Like, maybe we don't know every fucking thing. And we've crunched the numbers, and there is an 8.6% chance that we could open a portal to hell, and they'll chew our genitals for eternity. So we want to lower that to within the margin of error. So what we're going to do is have a dance troupe perform a religious rite on top of it. We're thinking Dance of Shiva, make some money. You know, it's kind of a Cirque du Soleil, very sexy. Yeah, Gary? Yeah, why don't we just chuck a virgin in? What? Yeah, why don't we just chuck a virgin? That works with, like, you know, tribal volcano societies. About a 50-50 chance of working. Are you out of your mind, Gary? A virgin? That could be any of us. Okay, so Dance of Shiva. And they did. They had a Dance of Shiva, and then they turned the thing on, and then they had a big wine and cheese party. 500 of the top quantum physicists in the entire world gathered at this thing. And right as everybody was leaving for the ceremony and to join the party, this guy from NASA runs up and he grabs the microphone and he goes, hey, real quick, before you guys get to partying, I'm from NASA. These guys are from the European Space Administration, and we've been having a problem with the Hubble, and we'd love your help. We're getting pictures back from the outer edge of the universe, literally the edge of the Big Bang. And the pictures are coming back pixelated in organized light. And that shouldn't be happening because these are direct light photographs. They're not digital, and we can't figure out why that is. And we think it's broken. We don't know. It's costing us millions. If you could help us out, that would be awesome. I'm Gary. These guys are from the European Space Administration. Enjoy the wine and cheese. We'll see you next time. And he walks off, and everybody goes back to partying, except for two guys. One guy from Austria and another guy from Finland thought it was an assignment and immediately started working on it. They started scribbling on every piece of paper they could find, napkins. They were writing them backwards on glass because that shows you're smart and whatever. And these guys look like troll dolls in wool suits. Like, they turned Asperger's into a career, and they were sticking to it. They did. I mean, these guys, they literally put a bit in that horse's mouth, and they are riding it. And it took these guys 20 minutes to figure it out. 8 years, the European Space Administration been trying to figure out what the problem is with the Hubble. These guys figured it out in 20 minutes. And the guy from Austria raised his hand at the party. Over here, this is the command, do it. Talk to me. That's the only Austrian accent I can do. Sorry. Then, hey, come on, do it. And of course, I had to pause the video and go find video of Schwarzenegger speaking German because I'd never seen it before. And at that moment, I was like, oh, shit, I've never seen him speak German before. And I found one. I found Schwarzenegger on a show speaking German, and the motherfucker still had an accent. I don't know how that works. He was like, the German lady who was interviewing him was going, and she was going, Augen fly the eyes in the Augen. I'm like, Jesus Christ, what a fucking hillbilly. Anyway, so the dude raises his hand and he goes, we've done the math, and the only scientifically sound reasoning for this is that we live in a hologram. That's true. That is now the prevailing scientific theory in quantum physics and string theory, that we live in a fucking hologram, that we live in a two-dimensional piece of information projected into three-dimensional space. You know, like, which makes so much fucking sense. That we live in a video game makes way more sense than what's going on. Because if you believe in an omnipotent God that knows everything, none of this makes sense. Like, it just can't. But if there's a 15-year-old in the sky with Cheeto on his fingers and you know, with an Xbox controller running all of our lives going, fuck this is boring. I don't like it anymore. Flood it. That makes totally, right? And like I said, I'm predisposed to like this because I'm named after a computer, but it does seem to make sense to me, you know. So those are the two things. We're either in a big video game here, or we're gonna go to fucking space and there's something out there. And I like the idea that there's something out there. you know. And I know, 500 years away to get a spaceship there, think about it, you know, what would you do on a spaceship for 500 years? Jesus. Like, we get bored here, and this place is amazing. 20% of Americans have a passport. 20% of that 20% use it more than once in their life. That's fucked up. We do nothing. We don't speak another language. We don't read a book every year. You're going to be in a fucking white double wide all the way through space for 500. You'd lose your mind. And then you tell everybody, well, they'll just sleep through it. Like Alien, right? You just get one of those things, you fall asleep, 500 years, you wake up with clean underwear, go about your business. Not possible. There's no human sleeps for 500 years and wakes up with clean underwear. I don't care who you are. There's a myriad of reasons we are oily, disgusting creatures. So, but they can't do that too because they would have to put you in a chemical coma, a chemically induced coma, which you saw in like movies like Traveler and Alien. They always talk about just you just wake up. Bullshit. You can't because it boils your brain. After 3 years in a chemically induced coma, you lose your mind. It makes no sense to send the Elon Musks of the world to another planet where they might meet aliens for the first time, and by the time they arrive, they're Gary Busey. You know what I'm saying? Like that will get killed. Hi, how are you? I represent humans. Fuck, kill these people. Kill them. You know how actually we're going to do deep space travel? This is how I'm going to ruin your evening and probably your week. This is true. Google has started recording dreams and memories. You can hook up electrodes now to a person's head, and they'll remember a very profound memory, and it will show up on a screen. You can visually see it. And right now it's in the low-res version. The technology's very new. It's kind of like the Donkey Kong phase of things. You know, like, I remember that. I remember Barrels and the Monkey, but it's close, you know. But within 20 years, if games are the arc of how this goes, we'll have full taptic experience where you literally could experience another person's life. So what'll happen is when you're dying, when you're on your deathbed or you're on the way to the hospital, they're going to hook this shit up to your head. And as you die, as you pass away into the great beyond, they're going to suck all the memories out of your head into a crystalline hard drive that lasts forever. And your children's children's children will be able to visit this for eternity. Live your life, see it. From first-person point of view, experience everything you did, change the outcome of some of the things that you did experientially. So that's what's going to happen in deep space. You're not going to sleep through the whole fucking thing or dream your own dumb dreams over and over again or go slowly nuts in the solitary confinement of space. No, you're going to get one of these things. They're going to chemically induce a form of hypnosis. And then they're going to pump one of these lifetimes into your head, and you're going to think you're that person from birth to death. You're going to learn to read and walk again. You'll experience everything this person went through. And like I said, it's like a video game. You'll be able to change stuff. And at the end of 80 to 100 years, whenever they die, you know, you'll wake up in your tube and go, holy shit, I had tits and I could play the piano. That's so, oh yeah. Oh, I'm on the ship, right. And you'll get off and you'll walk around the ship for a couple days. You'll have a shower and a shit and a shave, change your underwear. And then you'll go over and you'll pick another life off the wall for the next 80 to 100 years. You go, ooh, Caitlyn Jenner, I've heard good things about this one. Don't tell me what the ending is. Spoiler alert. And then stunk, I know all there is to know about, you know, and then for the next 80 to 100 years, you'll be that person. And the great thing about it is, if you arrive at another planet and there's aliens there, you'll be the greatest example of humanity that's ever existed, because you won't be you thinking your own stupid shit over and over and over again in a cycle. You'll have been lots of people. You'll get to you'll go to an alien race and go, I can express who we are as humans, because I've been all of us, rich, poor, gay, straight, male, female, you know, victim and victimizer, you know, and I can explain all of us to you before you eat me. Are those your larvae? They look hungry. And that's true. That's not only how we're going to do space travel, it's also how we're going to do any kind of education. Instead of going to math class when you're a kid, in an hour you'll live an entire lifetime as a mathematician who was born, raised, learned math, and died. And that's literally the technology that's coming in the next 50 years. You know what the best part about this, my favorite part about this whole thing is? Thanks to those assholes I told you about at the Hadron Collider, there is no way scientifically to prove that isn't happening to you right now.